to... Hi, today I'm gonna show you how I personally draw an eye. I'm gonna post the Photoshop file so you can follow me along, and we only have 5 minutes, so let's go, we'll jump right into it. Just a reminder, an eye is like a sphere, so when you render it, just render like it was a simple sphere. The skin will always go around the eyeball, so you'll have something like that. If you don't know where the eyes are, they are in the middle of the face, so if you make the center line, this is approximately the middle. And if you don't know the distance between one eye and the other eye, it's pretty simple. The best trick I can give you is the distance between the two eyes, or exactly the distance between one eye. So if we look there, we can see that both measurements are the same length. And just the last tip I can give you is just be careful to always put some space before the end of the skull, just right there. Some people miss that, this place right there, and you'll need to let some space because the eyeball have to sit behind the skull, so just give it some space there, and if you do all that, your eyes will be pretty good. Sketching an eye can be simple as 3 lines, so a friendly advice is to take some measurement like I do for the first eye. After that, just follow with a simple curve to go to the other measurement. Be gently with yourself, you don't need 1-to-1 ratio, and look out for the perspective, because some eyes like this one is viewed from below. That's why the eye isn't thick. For shading the skin, always start with a base color. After that, you'll need to paint the shadow. To have a good shadow color, always follow the rule. The rule is simple. You'll need to go diagonally, and after that, you'll need to shift the hue a little bit towards a reddish color. And if you're a beginner, try not to paint the shadow with a soft brush. The soft brush is ready there to paint ambient occlusion, so take a hard brush and just paint the shadow where you see them. Tips number 1, to make skin realistic, try to use some variety in your colors. In my painting, you can see that I used a more saturated red and orange. So the soft brush is really good to mix up colors at the beginning of your painting. For shading the eye, try to use a lighter tone, but not full white. The trick is to take your skin colors and take something close to that color. In general, when you paint an eye, you don't need as much details. If you look at my recent drawings, you can see that my eyes are not that much rendered. 3 colors for the iris is perfect. 1 for the darker tone, 1 for the base color, and 1 for the lighter part. Tips number 2. Try to use some saturated colors in the lighter area like I did for this eye. Now it's the best part, the highlights. There are 4 regions that you need to keep attention. This is one of them. The other is right there. The other one is there. And be careful for the last one. A square and a round highlight is fine, but try to cut it in half to make it more realistic. Tips number 3. A good thing to remember is the highlight is always placed in the darker area. When you make the eyelashes, you need to let space there and there. And when you draw them, try to make them not too big or not too small. You can draw individual eyelashes, but a good trick for me is sometimes just to do a straight line. And I'm happy to tell you that when you're drawing a guy, personally, I never draw the eyelashes. It's the same thing with the bottom eyelashes, I never draw them. The most I can do is making a straight line to give an illusion that they are there, but most of the time I never draw them. When you're at the final step, now your eyes should look pretty good. At that step, what I personally do is I add some highlights and some saturated colors in the shadow. Now that you know how to draw an eye, I'll give you some final tips to make them better. Eyes are pretty reflective, so try to use some ambient colors in your eyes. So when you're sketching or when you're painting, try to include this part right there to make the eye better. Another tip is these parts are always darker in general. Last one that applies to any drawing that you've made, try to always flip the canvas horizontally so you can spot better your mistakes. If you found this video useful, please consider liking and subscribing so others can find this video. I'm sure I missed some valid points that can be useful to draw better eyes, so if you know anything useful that I didn't talk about, just put it in the commentary please so others like me can paint better eyes. On that, I see you on the next video.